Well, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good to see all of you.
Pete Hegseth sitting in this morning for Tucker, and Sandra, nice to see you. Sitting in for Anna this morning.
We were just talking, the summer is going by way too fast.
Can you believe it? It's almost over 1 week. School kids back to school. We're going to have some back to school gadgets coming up a little bit later in the show. But first, we've got this.
Yeah, my kids going back to school Monday. Anyway, the State Department coming to Hillary Clinton's rescue once again, now claiming it won't compete the court-ordered release of her scheduled email release until after Election Day. And Garrett Tenney is in Washington, D.C. with more on this seemingly timely development. Garrett?
Pete, Sandra, and Clayton, good morning. That's right. This could be great news for the Clinton campaign. Just this week, we learned that when the AP analyzed the first half of Hillary Clinton's minute-by-minute schedule during her term as Secretary of State, which has already been released, more than half of the people she met or spoke with outside the government had given money to the Clinton Foundation for a total of $155 million. As things currently stand, we won't know if that holds true for the second half of her term at the State Department until after the election and just weeks before the next president is inaugurated. Back in January, after the AP filed a lawsuit against the State Department, a U.S. district judge ordered the State Department to begin releasing batches of Clinton's detailed daily schedules from her time as Secretary of State. At the time, the order was for the State Department to release 600 pages a month because the department said it didn't know how many pages were left. Yesterday, the State Department's attorneys told the Associated Press there are about 2,700 pages left, meaning under the current schedule, we can expect to see those around December 30th. Now, it is possible that the judge could order State to speed things up, which is something the AP's lawyers have formally requested. They're asking for everything to be released by October 15th, but as of right now, there are no indications that will happen. Sandra, Pete, and Clayton?
All right, Garrett.
Thank you.
Why this is so important, obviously, is because of what the AP was already able to uncover in some of the calendars that they had access to, and who was able to buy access, who was able to get in to meet with Hillary Clinton while she was Secretary of State, who also had donated money to the Clinton Foundation.
Well, and the AP report revealing that more than half the people outside the government who met or spoke with her by telephone while she was Secretary of State had given money either personally or through companies or groups to the Clinton Foundation. And that's why, well, if the rest isn't going to be released before the election, how big of an impact is it going to be?
Well, that's exactly right. And the judge even has mentioned that there's mounting frustration that there could be dragging of feet on this. I mean, ultimately, you want to know what's happening minute by minute, especially whether it's Benghazi or the pay-to-play scandal. What's happening? Who's she talking to? Especially when, as you said, half the people she's meeting with outside of official channels are someone who've donated to the foundation.
Yeah, why December 30th? I mean, everyone's out drinking New Year's Eve time, like December 30th. Let's release those documents that time instead of before the election. Come on. Well, meanwhile, we're getting a look inside the Clinton Foundation, and if you've ever listened to the Slate Political Gabfest, it's a podcast, and it's actually a very, very good podcast. Well, Adam Davidson, he was a contributing writer for The New Yorker, and he was an insider. He worked with the Clinton Foundation. He was there. He saw what happened at the Clinton Global Initiative, which is that big event where all those rich people come and rub elbows, and you know those things like Davos, right?
Yeah,
those big economic forums. He says it's creepy. Listen to how he describes the Clinton Global Initiative. Listen.
I've spent a decent amount of time at the Clinton Global Initiative. I sort of fell into this thing, which what I'm about to say means I'm probably going to fall out of this thing. There is a real creepy vibe to me personally at the Clinton Global Initiative. It seems to me that it is all about buying access. There's this kind of creepy theater that happens where you have the CEO of Coca-Cola or IBM or whatever, or GE up there with President Clinton, and they're just bathing each other in love over how generous and wonderful they are. And it just feels like the worst version of an elite selling access to the aspirational, creating this theater of doing good, but it's all about something else. It really feels gross.
Ouch. And the best part about this, you listen to the whole clip, it really feels gross, creepy, and then he goes on to say, but I can't wait to vote for Hillary Clinton. And I wish I could move to Ohio so that my vote mattered more.
Well, the alternative for him is Donald Trump, of course. So he's like, you know what? Yeah, this is a little creepy, but in the end, you know what I think stood out to me was the charity work they talk about. And it's really not been effective. So when people are wondering, well, what are you donating money for? Where is all this money going? He highlights Haiti as one area where they did some good work, but he says it's such a small, narrow focus there that it can have a little bit of a broad impact. But even Haiti didn't have much of an impact.
Yeah, I mean, for him to go on and say, it seems to me that it is all about buying access, and to your point, to go on and say that he's still going to vote for Hillary Clinton, it's an unbelievable revelation, really.
Yeah, and they would have Angelina Jolie and other celebrities sort of parade around the room for impact with donors, very little impact toward the causes they were supporting, reportedly.
Much has been made this week about the health of the candidates.
Yes.
Hillary Clinton's health and now Donald Trump's
How are you feeling,
health.
Clayton?
I've kind of let myself go. So I wouldn't be president of anything. But Hillary Clinton, NBC has spent almost zero time covering Hillary Clinton's health. Of course, she...
Wait, almost zero or literally zero?
Literally zero. Look at this. This is Hillary Clinton's time. Monday on NBC News, zero. All the way through the week, 0 minutes of coverage for Hillary Clinton's health coverage.
Wow.
And there was a lot of conversation about that, some speculation, but you could at least cover the speculation that, hey, what is her health and how is it going?
But Donald Trump's doctor, remember back in December, he released this kind of funny letter, had a bunch of typos and some grammar questions, and it was saying that Donald Trump, there he is, there's the doctor, gastroenterologist, saying he's like going to be the specimen, like Superman, basically. He's going to be the healthiest human being to ever sit in the White House. That was the letter.
So they've launched an investigation, and then vice versa. Donald Trump has gone after Hillary Clinton and her health, and has said that she's lacking stamina to be the president. So.
Well, now this letter's come back into the fray over the past week that he wrote and released back in December.
So NBC is now covering this letter, which he wrote quickly in order to cover Donald Trump's health, and they're covering the fact that a limousine came to pick up the letter and deliver it.
Donald Trump waited outside his office, and NBC's treating this as like breaking news.
This is breaking news in light of the fact that we do have new revelations or new speculation about Hillary Clinton.
So they get this sit down, this exclusive with Donald Trump's doctor. You have to listen to this.
His health is excellent, particularly his mental health. He would be fit because I think that his brain is turned on 24 hours a day.
So if you read the headlines from NBC News, it's, Trump's doctor wrote this letter in 5 minutes, and it was delivered to Donald Trump in a limo waiting outside.
And another part of the way they dissected the doctor is that he uses Windows XP. And I don't know, you know a lot more about operating systems than I do, but apparently that's outdated. And so he's an outdated doctor because he uses Windows XP on his computer.
Wow, that says so much.
Yeah. Oh, look, my parents, I think my parents still use Windows XP on their old Windows machine. They're not upgrading. I don't know that that's but we're zeroing in on the fact of what operating system.
But we don't need new upgrades on a lot of the systems inside our bodies, right, to understand them?
Right, exactly. So we need to know that what operating system he's using. I guess.
5 minutes. They should have taken 15. All right. Let us know what you think about all this, by the way. You can log on to the Facebook page, Twitter, send us your thoughts. A lot going on. Now to your headlines this morning.